Hey there, today I want to talk about the January 13th full moon in Cancer. This full moon is joining up or very close to the planet Mars. In fact, just hours before the moon makes its exact conjunction with Mars. So we have the energy of Mars, the planet of action. Getting things done will drive life force energy and thinking about how we can take action with the Cancer energy that has to do with caring. So, how we can think about actions that care for ourselves and actions that bring more caring to the world, and why these actions may be easier than you think. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro perspective for Sunday, January 12th, and we are talking about tomorrow's full moon in Cancer. So the chart for this full moon shows us Sun in Capricorn at 23 degrees, almost 24 degrees Capricorn, the moon at almost 24 degrees Cancer, and very close to the planet Mars at 27 degrees Cancer. The exact full moon is at 2:26 p.m. Pacific time. That's 5:26 p.m. Eastern. And if my math is right, 9:26, no, 11:26 p.m. for most European time zones. Maybe not most, but some of them. At any rate, so we've got this full moon energy. So the full moon is a time when something is coming to fruition, and it will look back to the new moon that began the current moon cycle. So in this case, we're looking back to the December 30th new moon in Capricorn. This moon cycle is focused on that Capricorn energy of building, of creating something tangible, something lasting, thinking about how we need to lay foundations for something we want to see come into being in the future. And Capricorn is about structure, it's about systems and ways of organizing and operating that help us to get things done. So it's not the most glamorous sign, but it is and can be a very productive sign when we work with that Capricorn energy. So it's asking us to retract in a way, right? To pull back, to look within, to ask ourselves what is working, what is not working, what is going to help me move forward, because I need to think about efficiency, effectiveness, right? What's working, what's not working, what's going to help me be productive when there's something that I want to manifest, create, produce, some sort of results I want to see. And so, of course, this speaks to what we talk a lot on this channel about, and that is what is most important to you. So, thinking about what you care about, why you care about that, right? What really brings joy and meaning to your life? What speaks to your heart? Because that's what you want to think about as you ask yourself, what when as I'm getting cleaner and clearer in my life, what does that look like, right? What do I keep, what do I get rid of, where do I need to maybe shift my perspective to get more on track with what's going to help me be productive. And when I say productive, I don't mean churning out something that doesn't have meaning to you, something without real value. We can be productive, but are we creating the things that are important to us? Are we creating the things that we are here in this life to do? Right. So, maybe maybe you're at work churning out widgets or requisitions or whatever you might be happening to be productive at, but is that really speaking to your heart? right? Is it really helping you to build something that has meaning for you, that has value for you? So we are in a world right now that is desperately in need of creativity, of productivity that has value, of thinking about what kinds of outcomes and results and legacies we want to build and participate in and live and do through our lives. So the good works that we need to do and want to do through living our lives. And there's lots of ways of thinking about this. It could be your family, right? And being there for people you care about. It could be a creative work that you're working on. It could be a way of having impact or helping others. There's so many different ways that valuable productivity, that productivity that comes from what we care about, what we want, can be thought about. So, so with the energy of this full moon, we have the sun in Capricorn. We're in a Capricorn moon cycle, and we have the full moon, the moon in its biggest and brightest, reflecting from this place of the Cancer energy. So the Cancer energy is about caring. It's about needs. It's about getting our own needs met and being a force for caring in the world, supporting organizations, infrastructures, and ways of being that bring more caring into the world. And again, we have a world that is in need of these new ways forward, right? New solutions, new ideas, new ways of thinking about how to get our human needs met, whether it's housing or healthcare or a living wage or whatever it is that speaks to you, and that lots of different ways that again that caring, being a force for caring might show up for you in your personal cares and concerns. And with the energy of the moon being very close to Mars during this full moon, we have this energy of action, of that feeling of needing to do something, right? There's energy building up. It needs an outlet. It needs to go somewhere. It needs to make a decision, find some clarity. At the same time, Mars is retrograde. So Mars is going backward through the zodiac, which it does every couple of years. So so it's not like Mercury that goes retrograde, like a few times a year. Mars, when it goes retrograde, it spends a lot of extra time in a sign, allowing us to really reflect on how we take action related to the energy of that sign. And so Mars is in Cancer, asking us, it was in Leo, right? It retrograded back into Cancer. So in Leo, it was more focused on self expression, how we share our light, creativity, and those kinds of things. Now it's back in Cancer, where we think about where we need to take action related to what we care about, what we want to see flourish. Right? That's why the energy of Cancer has to do with mothering. It has to do with nurturing. It has to do with children. It has to do with how we nurture and care for the vulnerable, because when we provide that support and caring to something that hasn't found its legs yet, we are investing in something that is going to grow, something that is on its developmental process of becoming something. So when you nurture a seedling, you are giving it that energy, that care that it needs to grow, to find its new leaves, its shoots, ultimately its ability to blossom, flower, and create seeds, right? And so it brings beauty, it brings maybe food, it brings all the things that plant has to offer. So, and it needs the sunshine, the soil, the nutrients, the water, all the things that it needs to be able to grow. Well, we individually and collectively also need to have our needs met. We need our water and our soil and our sunshine so that we can grow and develop into our potential, right? So if you are on your way to your highest potential, then what is it that you need to keep moving along that path? What is it you need in order to take that next step on your journey to your highest potential, to what it is you are here to do in this life? And there are so many opportunities. And one of the benefits of having a world in crisis in many ways is there are lots of opportunities for bringing in new solutions. So, not to diminish the reality of a lot of really hard things that are happening in the world. And I don't need to reiterate those for you. You can easily find the problems, such as they are, right, on the news, the internet, your community, whatever. But so the point is that we don't have maybe enough of us thinking about how do we bring more caring into the world such as it is. How do we think about things differently? How do we bring in what it is we need to nourish, to flourish, to thrive, to take our next steps on our path of developing into our highest potential? And this, we don't know what the future will hold, and we can participate in being part of creating that future. So, how are you participating in it? And that is what this Cancer full moon is inviting us to reflect on, to notice, to think about, to gain insight into. How can we take action that furthers our own potential? And so, what are our needs? How do we get those needs met? How do we think differently? How do we take action in ways that, there's been a theme of this past week in my videos where we've talked about how to take action in ways that recharge you. Wait, you don't have to think about action as being something exhausting. So we've done that, right? We've done a lot of that exhausting push, push, push. And so now we need to inhale. We need to get some rest. We need to take care of ourselves and rethink how we are approaching things, because the fight until you drop, I think, philosophy is appropriate maybe when you're heading toward a big deadline like an election, but it also has to be a way of thinking about your actions and your ways of living your life that are going to be part of the solution in the long haul. So now we are at that point where we need to take the deep breath, get the rest and the self-care that we need, form connections, form bonds with other people that are going to sustain us, support networks, right? With your neighborhood, your community, your family, whatever it is, create these support networks, because that is in part how your needs will get met. So, and there's kind of another thing going on here, which is a lunar standstill. And so the moon is out of bounds. It is meaning it's at a declination where it rises in the east at a further north position than usual. So, and also Mars is also out of bounds, also at a higher declination than usual. So we have these kind of intense, big energies, big invitations to shift our perspective, think outside the box, shift our thinking. And so I want to invite you to think about how you take action as not so much something that has to be hard, that you have to push, push, push for, but that can be something subtle about the way you approach your life and the problems of the world. And so, starting with self care, starting with calming your nervous system, easing into a more grounded approach, a more self care way of being. And part of this, again, is focusing on community building, investing in relationships, friendships, support networks, even acquaintances that can be your resource going forward. And you never know who you're going to need to call on or who's going to need to call on you. And so just reach out to people and say, hey, it's been a little while, but I'm still here and maybe we could catch up sometime, just things like that. So that's a simple action you could take. Also, can't overestimate the power of getting your own needs met so that you have the energy and your batteries are charged so that you can be present for what you need to be present for. Another one is mindset. So when you have a mindset of safety, like within yourself, when you're calm, when you're grounded, when you're trusting yourself, you can show up for other people in a way that says, hey, maybe we could think about that differently. Or, hey, maybe, outrage is not really helpful right now. let's shift gears into what we can do. Let's shift gears into an approach that is fun and joyful and nourishing and brings pleasure into our lives and helps us reconnect with the beauty that is in the world. And so, not to again diminish the problems that we have, as all of you, I'm sure my heart absolutely goes out to people who are dealing with the ramifications of climate change, most recently the fires, but the hurricane in North Carolina, the just all the things. I've had fires, close friends lose homes, fires near my own home, so I get it. And it feels intense when you think about that being our future, but let's remember that our future is also in our choice to live our lives with that affirmation that we are here to care for one another. And that can give you a sense of empowerment and agency, right? In your ability to make a difference. And when you can make a difference in small ways, that kind of spreads in a form of hope. Like hope is like a muscle that we have to exercise or we lose it. So cultivate hope by taking acts of affirmation, right? Affirmation of yourself, affirmation of folks that you care about, affirmation that we are here in this together. We can help one another out. And around this action oriented Cancer full moon, where we have the energy of defending and protecting the vulnerable, the less fortunate, the needy, and the needs within ourselves. We have the warrior spirit in the sign of caring and emotion. And so instead of letting your emotions bowl you over, let yourself be moved to action that is in alignment with caring for yourself, with caring for people around you, for the beings and the wonderful animals and the planet that you are here to be in community with. So that's what I would say for this Cancer full moon. We also, of course, have the opposition to Pluto. Pluto in Aquarius, remember, is here to help us think outside the box, access new resources within ourselves, find new solutions to old problems, think in ways that unite us rather than dividing us. We have to choose that. And we have to choose where we want to embrace new thinking and new solutions. So that Pluto energy is not given, or it's not being given to us. It is something we have to actively embrace and embody and work on transforming. So you can do that by being who you are, right? This is the good news. All you have to do is be who you are, be your best self, support yourself to step into your highest potential, and be that ray of sunshine for those around you. Be a believer in human spirit, in the human sense of possibility, and what you can do to make a difference in tiny, small, baby step ways is where you begin. And thank you for being here. I have a guided meditation for this full moon that can absolutely help you connect with yourself, help you access your own path of caring and action and what that looks like for you. This guided meditation, super, super powerful for especially working with this Cancer full moon energy. So check that out. It's only $15 and it's available in the description for this video as well as on my website, astrologyheals.com. Thank you for being here, for your support. And by the way, purchasing my meditations is a great way to help keep me going and support this work. So I thank you, and I thank you for being here. And if you enjoy these videos, consider gifting yourself with the nurturing support of this guided meditation. It's called Choosing to Care, and it will help you access your own ability to make caring choices for yourself and be that force for caring in the world. Thanks again. So astrologyheals.com. Thank you for subscribing to this YouTube channel. And that, by the way, if that's all you can do, that is very helpful as well. So I appreciate your support and being a subscriber. And I will see you next time, as I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care and happy full moon. See you next time.